What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Got you on the boxing news. Jaron Boots Ennis hints at a secret announcement after his next fight. Stay tuned. Is this Vergil Ortiz? I'm sure that's what a lot of people want to know. I just watched an exclusive interview with Jaron Boots Ennis, and he basically is hinting at a surprise secret announcement after his next fight that the world must stay tuned for.
Reason why I'm the best, and I'm back at what I'm saying, and I'm gonna prove to everybody. I'm gonna say this. Just stay tuned for the post-fight interview.
Post-fight interview on
October
11th.
Yeah, October 11th.
So it's safe to say you might announce something. I know, but I'm just like, damn, because there was like, the talks of maybe Xander and Vergil, and it's just like,
it's always talks.
It's always
talks, and that's what makes boxing go big.
Well, I was gonna say that too, because I think that's sometimes where the confusion comes. Is like there's talks, and then we hear rumors, and then it's like this media outlet says this, and then it's like we don't know if that's true, and then it's like, so I guess at the end of the day, right, you make the decision who it is.
There you heard it. So Jaron Boots Ennis basically saying he has a surprise announcement. So to me, that clearly means that he has probably a fight done and he has something going on that we just don't know about, contingent on him beating Lima, right? That's what it sounds like to me. That is clearly me speculating. I don't know what the situation is, but I want to be transparent and I want to say, for Jaron Boots Ennis' sake, I hope it's something good. I hope it's a big fight and a big announcement that he has, because Jaron Boots Ennis, I've been a fan of his, but there's no fighter that is above and beyond criticism on my channel. That's just how I've always been. I think you do an immense disservice to your channel when you show an insane bias and you say you're a stickler for this, that, and the third, but then you don't hold everybody to the same standard. The great thing with Boxingego, make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell icon. With Boxingego, I'm always going to be truthful. I'm always going to be forthcoming. And there's no one that's Steven Seagal above the law. Nobody. So the reality for Boots is when he was working with Showtime and he was on PBC cards working with Espinoza, he was really like an urban legend. But then he got with Eddie Hearn, and that's where things begin to sour. And your boy Ego, the best in the business, and it's not even close. I had questions about that marriage, that partnership between Matchroom and Jaron Ennis. I really did, because I don't care what none of y'all say. Eddie Hearn, he could be good at what he does in the UK. He has not produced an American star, meaning somebody who had no brand, took him from like the slums, took him from the dirt, from the mud, and then built them into a Floyd Mayweather or whoever level star with his imprint. He hasn't done it. And so far, he hasn't done it with Jaron Boots Ennis. Boots' first fight got canceled. He was supposed to fight Cody Crowley. So you did a whole press conference for the Crowley fight, and then it didn't even happen. Right? Cool, your opponent pulled out. But then you replace it with a guy that Terrence Crawford already knocked out with one punch. Like, I get it. It's a replacement, but it's just that is not the type of opponent that I think people are chomping at the bit to see Boots fight. And I know Boots and his fans probably get mad, but it's really a compliment, because if you are showing promise, you're supposed to be held to a higher standard. Like, I don't expect the same from this basketball player as Michael Jordan or Kobe. So we had high hopes for Jaron Ennis, and people have been checking for him. But then it gets to a point where your reputation is actually more hyped up than the level of opponents in which you're fighting. Let me explain. I'm saying, like, your reputation is preceding you, and then the level of competition that you're fighting will never allow for you to realize those results. And that's the reality of it. Like, to be honest, I understand he hasn't had a fight at 154, but entering the game, even with his past work, Jaron Ennis has one of the weakest resumes at 54, right? Because Vergil Ortiz, he's about to fight Erickson Lubin, talented fighter. He already fought Boachuk and Madrimov. So just right then and there, to be honest, I think those are better names than anybody that Boots has fought, even at 47, right? Erickson Lubin, he fought Jermell Charlo. He fought Jorge Cota, a ranked guy. He fought, of course, Sebastian Fundora, who just beat Tim Tszyu up. And he's about to fight Vergil Ortiz, right? So when you look at these types of names that he fought Ramos, that's a good resume, you know? And Jermell Charlo, he fought Castano twice, Tony Harrison twice. Jermell Charlo's been fighting the top guys running through the division. So I think even with the choice to have such an unheralded name in his first fight, like Lima, that was going to be met with criticism. So ultimately, I hope his big announcement is just in that, a big announcement. And it sounds like it is. So I'm very optimistic. I'm not really looking forward to the Lima fight. I do enjoy watching Boots in his fight, but it's just, Lima is not the type of opposition that's really going to show me anything. My thing is this: certain fighters like Boots, if not marketed properly, they get to a zone where all your opponents are in the same echelon. All your opponents are like too similar, right? Like you could put David Avocado, Lima, you know, Stanionis, whoever else, Roman Villa, Karen Chukadzian, they're all kind of in the same like echelon. Unknown, not really name recognizable names. No one with these like crazy attributes. Like, you could be a good fighter. It's kind of like what Terrence Crawford was fighting with Top Rank. You know what I mean? Where you could be a good fighter, a solid fighter, but ultimately we know how the game goes and the status quo. You're not going to get the same level of credit for fighting Usma Lima, who nobody knows, as opposed to fighting Brandon Adams, who just beat Boachuk, Madrimov, even a Brian Mendoza. Anybody like that would have been better than Lima. And I'm not even talking about like, because I'm trying to be fair and be realistic. So I'm not even talking about Jermell Charlo, Fundora, and Ramos, and like the established guys. Erickson Lubin would have been a good option. So Eddie Hearn just has not been able to deliver, but hopefully we get the big fight, because the decision making from Team Boots and how it's played out, they just haven't been the star making type of decisions. But he's teasing a announcement at the conclusion of his fight. Obviously he has to win that. Now I'll say this, I'm not a big fan of that. The way Turkey and team goes about that, they're doing too much futuristic planning, and it's just dumb for boxing. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to tell you. Ryan Garcia was supposed to beat Rolly on paper, and then he loses. Devin Haney fights in shambles, and now Devin's fighting Brian Norman, and we don't know what Ryan's comeback fight is or whatever. You know what I mean? So, And then the same thing with, I've heard the rumors of Devin Haney fighting Ryan in a rematch come back up. But here's the thing. Devin's in a tough fight with Brian Norman, so we got to see. You guys got to watch these people clear the food that's on their plate before we start looking at. Now, I don't think Lima should beat Jaron Ennis, but it's still boxing, and we've seen so many fighters fall like over planning and planning in advance. Subscribe.